Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Private Practice with Soul podcast. This is the first podcast for counsellors that just don't align with the traditional approaches to business and that want to use their spiritual gifts, talents, and interests to create, you guessed it, a private practice with soul. So, look, leave it to me to provide you with everything you need, including strategies that you can use to increase your income, reduce your workload, and of course, increase inquiries and referrals to your beautiful soul-led private practice. I love it so much. If you haven't done it already, grab your journal, grab your pen, and let's begin. So you would like to get more referrals for your beautiful soul-led private practice, and you're struggling to get them, and you're now saying, I'm trying to approach the medical clinics and the doctors and I'm not getting any of the referrals. So, is there a marketing flyer that you recommend, and how are you going? What's the, what sort of traction are you getting by using a marketing flyer? So today, that's what we're going to talk about, using marketing flyers for your private practice, the good, the bad, and everything in between. But if you're new to the podcast, let me say welcome, welcome, welcome. If we've not met yet, my name is Brooklyn. I love podcasting so much and sharing this information with you so much. And if you're not a member of either of my communities, the Counsellors Connect Australia group or Australian Counsellors in Private Practice online, then this is your invitation to come along and join me. Both of those groups are free, and they're such beautiful communities, so supportive, there to help you with your counselling work, as well as those of you who are interested in starting or nurturing your private practice. So here's the thing. I think marketing flyers are something that I'm going to say, and it's just my opinion, and there'll be some of you that agree and some that don't, but it's just my opinion. I think they're outdated. And as somebody who worked in many bulk billing medical clinics around Melbourne and the Mornington Peninsula, I can tell you exactly what receptionists do when the flyers come in, and that's they rip them in half and they put them in the bin. They don't get to the doctors. And it's just what happens. The doctors get inundated with mail and inundated with correspondence and magazines and flyers, and they're just not going to read a flyer from about counselling. They tend to read flyers and magazines and print media about pharmaceuticals, medications, drugs, all of that sort of stuff, or about collegial things like whatever's happening in the RACGP, stuff like that. That's what they're reading. So my advice to you is don't bother. I think that there are better ways that you can build referral pathways. And I think that making a marketing flyer might feel like you're being really busy, and it might feel like you're heading in the right direction. It's nice to feel like you've got a plan and you know what you're doing. But if you then go and spend money on stamps, or you're going to hand deliver them or whatever, I think it's, there are better ways that are going to be more effective, and that's what I want to share with you today. Now, the other thing that came up was maybe how do we go about having a digital flyer, and how successful are private practices in sending out digital flyers to potential referrers. Again, I don't think it's anything that's going to get you high traction. The thing that's going to get you referrals is FaceTime with someone, and I don't mean using a device. I mean being in someone's physical space. That's what's going to get you a referral. Why? Because it's about the relationship. A doctor, a third-party referrer is not going to refer a client that they care about to someone they've never met, to someone that they don't trust. They don't know that, can they believe you when you say you can help with trauma? Can they believe you when you say that you work with all people across the lifespan doing all the things? Probably not. So you have to really be open to creating opportunities to physically get some time with one of these referrers. Now, again, I think if you're a counsellor, absolutely go and meet with doctors, but be strategic about it. I think go and speak not at a bulk billing clinic, but go and speak to doctors at a private clinic. Why? Because if you go to a bulk billing clinic and you take your flyers along with you, they're just going to get discarded most of the time because the doctors think, well, all the patients here get everything for free, and why should they go and pay for you or your service? So that's the thinking that you can encounter. I'm sure there are exceptions to the rules, but this is what generally happened in my experience. And the reason that I feel you can have better success building relationships with private billing medical centres is because their patients are used to investing in their health and well-being. So asking them or requiring them to pay for a service with you is going to be easier. And they're more likely to be okay with that than someone who's been getting everything for free. So there's that. And the other thing is I would encourage you to go and have meetings with specialists. So if you work in anything to do with pregnancy in that field, pregnancy care, women's health, definitely don't go to bulk billing clinics, but do go to specialists. So go to gynecologists, go to obstetricians, go to maternal health nurses, go to companies that offer nannying services. Do you know what I mean? Like, allow yourself to think outside of the box. You have to know where your paying clients are, and paying clients tend not to be at bulk billing medical clinics. Okay. So that's the first thing. Know where your clients are. The second thing is, please, save yourself the time and the headache of going into Canva and creating what you think is a really great, you're happy with it, but it's either if you send it by email to a doctor's clinic, it's just going to get deleted, and they might even mark your email as spam, in which case no further emails will ever get through to them. And the other thing, I've just forgotten what I was going to say. Anyway, I'll come back to it. So, where was I going with this? Oh, I was on such a roll. Okay, how else can I help you? Oh, so if you do want to get in front of doctors, there is a bite-sized training in the group, the ACPPO, and I'll put the link to that group. As I said, it's free. It's on Facebook. You can jump in there, and I've created a training for you that shows you the process, because there is a process. It's not, you can't just ring up a medical center now and say, I want to meet with the doctors. There's a whole thing behind it. So, there is a calendar, a special calendar just for booking in with doctors. And I share that calendar with you in the group. So if you're dead set on wanting to go down that pathway, please do it. It's going to allow you FaceTime with the doctors, and it's going to give you a chance to build that relationship with them. Okay, that's number one. The other thing that I want you to know about marketing is a lot of your marketing is going to come from people's direct experience with you. Okay, so think about, how you interact with receptionists. Think about how you interact with doctors. Think about how you interact with the NDIS support coordinator. All of those touch points become your marketing. And think about how you show up for clients, because that becomes your marketing as well. Your marketing is more than a flyer, and it's not how you're going to get clients with the flyer. So think about every single touch point that somebody has with your private practice as a marketing point. Okay, right from your website. How do you want someone to feel when they come there? What's the vibe of the website? Is it inviting, or is it all about you? Is it about them and what's possible for them, or is it you and your qualifications and your story and this, that, and the other? Like, really think about every single space that the potential client is going to have to experience something with your private practice, even right down to what does it feel like for your client to get that onboarding email that's got all those forms in, and how do you want them to feel? That's marketing, right? Having a really beautiful onboarding experience will get you clients because they're going to tell all their friends and family about how amazing your onboarding experience was, and their friends and family might say, oh, I know somebody who needs some help right now, and you get word of mouth like this. Okay. I also strongly believe that, and I said it in the last episode, your vibe is your currency. Like, your vibe is your marketing. So think about when you record that 15-second video for Psychology Today, or when you record your YouTube, or when you go on a Facebook Live, or when you share photos of yourself. Really look at what's the vibe here. What's the energy of that photo? What's the energy of the image? What's the energy of the video? Okay. That's what's going to be what attracts people to you. Now, there are some people who, they get on a Facebook Live and they're just so professional and they're so articulate. Do you know what? That approach is going to resonate with people who like that approach. Other people, well, like me, for example, sometimes I'll get on with just a little bit of lippy and mascara. I don't do a full face of makeup or anything like that. And I'll just jump on and I will record something, and I make mistakes. I stumble over my words. I lose my train of thought. But you know what? I just trust that my clients are okay with that, and it's the vibe that attracts them, not the mistakes I make with my speech, or the stumbles or the hiccups or anything like that. They're there for the energy, and that's the same for you. So be mindful about the energy that you show up in, and it's for everything. It's for writing a post, writing an email, writing your blog, going and having meetings with people. You have to cultivate your vibe, because your vibe is either going to, radiate and attract through its ability to, for you to step into your radiance. You have to be in that feminine energy. You have to be okay with receiving, which means you've got to have done that inner work and know that you can support the client, you can do this work, you can support them get the transformation or the result or the outcome. You can do all of the things, right? All of that has to be done first so that you can show up in your feminine radiance, because it's that feminine that's going to receive the referrals. So if you're not receiving referrals at the moment, this is your invitation to think about, am I taking my foot off the brake here? And cultivating my vibration. And I know it's going to sound bizarre to some of you, but I know others of you are going to totally be on board with this. But here's the thing. If you're in your masculine energy and you're following a very linear process and you're doing all of the things and following all of the steps and, and every single day you're doing, and you've got like one of those checklists and you like to tick things off, and that's happening every day. Are you leaving space to get into the receiving energy? And do you know how to get into the receiving energy? Because if you're not, then how are you going to receive, right? You'll just be very busy. You'll feel tired. You'll feel like you've put in a hard day's work, but you're not going to get a client, you're not going to get that referral, you're not going to get the interest, and it's because you haven't created space to receive them. Okay, so creating space can mean structural things like, blocking off an hour or two in the afternoon where you're just going to focus on your vibe by doing things that feel good, by doing things that you enjoy doing, like the fun parts of private practice. Maybe for you, that's playing in Canva. Maybe for you, it's recording a podcast, whatever it is. But you reserve that time every single day where you still get to work in the practice, but you're in the feminine. There's not the pressure there. You're playing, you're enjoying it. I was doing card readings yesterday for people in private practice to help them with their private practices. And it was so much fun. It's still part of my business, yes, but it's part of my business that I really, 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 really love. And I did 4 readings yesterday in the afternoon. It took me 4 hours to do them. They were all recorded, all stuff like that. But while I was doing them, I saged. I had beautiful music going in the background. I had a ritual to open and close the container of energy for each person so that the energy didn't get mixed up. I, cleared and cleansed the cards in between each session. I played with Gabe in between each session. I drank water to keep my energy clear. And guess what happened? I sent out all of the recordings, and straight away somebody sent me, well, not straight away because she had to receive the reading and digest it first, but pretty much straight away I received a beautiful message from her. I'm going to share it with you now so that you can see what I mean. I won't say her name. I'm sure she'll be happy for me to read this. Where is it? Yeah, this is what she said. She said, it was a whole long message about, she said, thank you so much, Brooklyn. I love the reading so much. Everything in capital letters resonated, especially the bit where you mentioned, this thing that I mentioned. Your groups have arrived in a timely manner, and I've had others appear who have offered all sorts of things to support my private practice. It was so useful to me that you mentioned this thing that I mentioned to her in the reading. And then she said, I'm so truly blessed to have found you, and I found all of our interactions so inspiring. I'm really looking forward to continuing my journey towards PP with your guidance. It was just so, and have a lovely, wonderful evening. Lots of love. And then later on, she sent me through, it was so nice. She sent me through a little testimonial that said, recently I was fortunate enough to have Brooklyn to do a tarot reading for me around a question that I had regarding the development of my private counselling practice. As part of the reading, she mentioned that I should discard anything that didn't resonate with me. Well, I must say everything she told me resonated. Her reading was spot on. The cards identified my strengths as well as the parts of me I might think about differently. Brooklyn delivered the reading in such a kind and loving way. The reading really served me by confirming and reinforcing some of what I knew to be my strengths, and it provided me with some helpful strategies to lessen the impact of the parts of the business that for me are less appealing. The experience lifted my spirits in the most amazing and surprising way, and it enabled me to reframe some of my less helpful thoughts, effectively boosting my confidence in the belief that my business is going to be successful. I highly recommend that counsellors going into private practice utilize this fabulous resource that Brooklyn offers her clients. And that was just so nice. And I was so happy, and I was dancing around the room, and I was full of love and full of gratitude, and it was just the best. And now this morning, next day, it's Wednesday morning, and I've had 2 more people booking for readings, and I honestly don't think that would have happened. And I've not shared the testimonial that I received from that client yet. I got it last night. But you have to be in a space of that beautiful divine radiance, that beautiful, loving, connected, nurturing energy in order to receive. And so if you're busy doing all of the things, and you're busy saying, oh, I got to get this done today and that done today, and and you're exhausting yourself by the end of the day, and then you're slumping down in a heap and saying, oh, I'm working so hard, but I'm not getting anywhere. It's my honest personal belief that you just need to shift into the feminine, and that's nothing to do with creating a marketing flyer for your practice. It's going to be your vibe that attracts clients to you. Now, in saying that, if you do want to use a marketing flyer, which I know some of you still will, and that's absolutely fine. But if you choose to still go down that path, my guidance to you would be hold off on sending a marketing flyer until after you've met in person or on Zoom the potential referrer. I would use the marketing flyer as a follow-up, not as an introduction. Okay, so I would encourage you to arrange a time to meet with somebody that you would like to receive referrals from, because their philosophies and values and the work that they do and the clients they serve are aligned with you and yours. And after you've had that meeting, send a little packet to them as a follow-up, and include in that packet a little flyer if you want to. That's fine. The problem is thinking that you're going to get clients by leading with that, right? The other issue with leading with a marketing flyer and just sending them out and expecting to get referrals is you're missing the point. The point is that it's going to be through relationships. And here we are again, back at that feminine energy. It's going to be about the relationships, okay? So if you're just sending flyers to people you don't know, and that you haven't met and that you haven't spoken to, there is no relationship, and therefore that's not going to translate into a referral for you. All right, so marketing flyers come after you've had a meeting with somebody, okay? And the other thing with marketing flyers is you always want to include something that's going to be useful and helpful and add value to the work that the referrer does. Okay, it's not going to be as effective if your marketing flyer is all about you and here's how to book with me and stuff like that. You have to also give them something of value that's going to feed their soul. It's got to either feed ego mindset. So they want to think, oh, my patient or my client is going to think I'm wonderful for connecting them with this person. Or my patient or my client is going to get so much value out of going and seeing this particular person. Or there's got to be some kind of what's in it for the referrer. Okay, so if you're going to make your marketing flyer, do include something that's going to be of value, serious value as well, to a referrer. And only send a marketing flyer as part of a little packet after you have met with a potential referrer. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share with you about marketing flyers. And I just want to hone in again about, if you're finding that you're doing all of the things and you're not getting any of the results or the traction that you're really wanting yet, it's likely because you're not giving your space to be in the feminine, okay? And you can absolutely switch that up. It's a little bit of behavior, it's a little bit of mindset, it's a little bit of new habits and new approaches, but it's totally doable and it will get you results. Your results are going to come from having a blend of masculine and feminine for every touch point of the private practice. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that this was really fun and light and helpful. If you have any thoughts or whatever, of course, let me know. Just connect with me on Facebook or on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at The Private Practice Coach. Otherwise, have a beautiful Wednesday and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now. I hope that you loved this episode as much as I loved putting it together for you. To get more resources to help you in your private practice, head over to Instagram. My handle is at The Private Practice Coach. And also, if you want more inquiries and referrals for your business, let me know. I have a program called Clients on Demand that opens every quarter, and I can absolutely get you some information for that as well. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the world.